We'll take it.
All right, we'll see.
Oh, weird.
Okay, it is 6:30, so we're going to call to order the Moore City Council meeting that's scheduled for August 3rd, 2026. It's 6:30, and we have a quorum. Would you call the roll, please?
Kathy Griffith.
Here.
Sid Porter. Here.
Here.
Louis Williams.
Here.
Adam Webb.
Here.
Rob Clark.
Here.
Mark Ham.
Here. Would you please stand for Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2 is our consent docket.
Make a motion, we approve the consent docket, items A through G.
Second.
Had the motion and second. You can call the roll.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Consent docket carries. Item 3 is consider action, receive bids, and consider for approval or rejection, resolution number 14126, awarding $5,130,000 City of Moore, Oklahoma general obligation bonds of 2026 to bidder whose bid is determined to offer the lowest interest cost.
Mayor and Council, items 3, 4, and 5 are companion items. This is the annual drawdown of our GEO bonds. This drawdown will be used to replace the advance funding of the credit line that we did several years ago. Our bond attorney, Terry Hawkins, is present, as is our financial advisor, Chris Gander. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
And you can call the vote.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 4 is consider action, approval, or rejection of resolution number 14226, providing for the issuance of general obligation bonds of 2026 in the sum of $5,130,000 by the City of Moore, Oklahoma, authorized at an election duly called and held for such purpose on June 26, 2018, prescribing form of bonds, providing for registration thereof, providing levy of an annual tax for payment of principal and interest on same, and fixing other details of the issue.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
You can call the vote, please.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 5 is consider action, approval, or rejection of employment agreements for financial advisor and bond counsel pertaining to the issuance of the general obligation bonds of 2026 by City of Moore, Oklahoma.
Again, this is just a companion item for the other two.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
You can call the vote, please.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 6 is receive a presentation regarding the use of flock cameras from our police chief.
Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about a topic that is generating a lot of discussion, but I'd like to really note that it's about trust and the relationship we have with our citizens here in this community. So whenever law enforcement begins using new technology, people should ask questions. I think it's appropriate. They should want to understand and know how it works, and they should be afforded the transparency to know the safeguards and the extent to which it protects their rights. Each of you, as you're well aware, were elected to represent the citizens, and your responsibility is to ask difficult questions, to challenge me, to challenge us when necessary, and to make sure we're protecting both public safety and the constitutional rights of our community. And so I hope that for over the years I've earned your trust, but I would never ask for your blind trust. Blind trust has no business in public safety, and has no business in government. And so that's exactly what good government is supposed to look like. And you asking hard questions is how good government works. And so with that, tonight I'm just simply going to explain what Flock is and what Flock isn't, and how we use it here and more, and the safeguards that we have in place to ensure that it's used responsibly and ethically. And so with that, if I don't mess this up, what is Flock? So Flock is automated license plate reader systems. And so the best analogy I could give you is if we said we're going to go get a Coke, and Councilmember Porter ordered a Dr. Pepper, Councilmember Hunt ordered a 7-Up, and the mayor ordered a Pepsi. Well, in Oklahoma, we call that getting a Coke. Flock is just a brand name that represents a company that operates and sells automated license plate reader systems, ALPRs. There's a variety of other companies that provide the same service. Flock is just the kind of industry number one and most notable, similar to that Coke example. But in its most simplest term, it's an investigative tool. The camera is mounted on fixed poles. There's a picture of one right there on the PowerPoint. It's mounted on a fixed post throughout the city. The vehicle passes by. The camera takes a photograph of the back part of the vehicle, the rear of the vehicle, and reads the license plate and compares it to what's called a hot list. And to think about a hot list, it's like a read-only file or a PDF file that's issued by NCIC, the National Crime Information Center, and pushed out and then put into the Flock system. Flock itself, or any ALPR, does not directly interface with the NCIC system. So that hot list is regularly updated and contains license plates of stolen vehicles, Amber Alerts, missing endangered persons, wanted felony suspects, and other legitimate public safety alerts. If there isn't a match, so when it takes that picture, if there isn't a match, the vehicle just goes on down the road like anything else. If there is a match, the officer would receive an alert that says, hey, this vehicle has popped up on this hot list and needs further investigation or further attention. The camera doesn't decide if somebody's committed a crime. The camera doesn't make arrests, and the camera doesn't file charges. It simply alerts the vehicle or alerts the police officer that this vehicle needs to be looked at further based on the information provided by the hot list or NCIC. This isn't new. It's just a continued evolution of technology. Throughout history, we've seen that technology gets adopted and creates efficiencies in public safety. The example I would give, and I won't call any former police officers on the dais out, but at one point in time, a light would go off in the center of town hall, the town square. The police officer would look and see, no, they have to go get to a phone, a pay phone or some other phone, call into dispatch and get their call. Well, then as technology continues to advance and evolve, now we have radios, and that kind of revolutionized how we police and policing efficiencies. So now you can call in to the police department. There's a radio and a dispatcher that can immediately transmit information out to the police officer in the field, which revolutionized and really made big efficiencies in how we were able to respond to calls. So, from a broader historical perspective, when we look at license tags and registrations, in 1911, Oklahoma began taking statewide vehicle registrations. So you'd have to register your vehicle with the state of Oklahoma. Then in the 1980s, those paper files become electronic into a computer. I'm sure the computer was as big as this room, but it was computerized anyway. But then with the advancement of the radio by the 1990s, now dispatchers can access that same vehicle registration information electronically, and police officers can access that in the field via the radio. So then we get into the early 2000s, and now in-car computers are the norm, and now officers can do this at their fingertips in the car. And what was common practice, and probably still is today, is that police officers would go to apartment complexes, hotels, especially along a lot of corridors, and they would just run tags physically, punch the tag in, and get the return on their in-car computer, looking for stolen cars, wanted suspects that may be in the area. And so by 2010, ALPRs become a thing, and they're starting to get integrated throughout society in a variety of different ways, not just in law enforcement, but a variety of different ways. And so today, systems like Flock integrate fixed cameras like you see, and hot lists to alert officers in real time, greatly improving the efficiency while still relying on the underlying verification of the human aspect. So Flock didn't create the government's ability to identify who owns a vehicle. That authority has been in place for over a century. Flock simply now just automates what officers used to do manually and have done for decades manually, reading license plates and checking them against wants and warrants records. So every time we have an investigation today, there's always some element of technology, digital evidence. It's a major part of the good things, the good ways we're solving crimes, but it's also a major challenge for us to keep up with technology, to keep up with the storage of that digital evidence. And so Flock is simply another step in that evolution, kind of like fingerprints into DNA. It simply gives the investigator another piece of information and starting point to work from. So, important, what Flock isn't. And there's lots of misconceptions. Social media drives a lot of misconceptions of what Flock isn't. And when I talk about Flock, Flock has a variety of products, but we only use the ALPR system from Flock at this point, actively. Flock is not facial recognition. It does not identify who's driving the vehicle or who's riding in the vehicle. It does not know who owns the vehicle. It does not continually track people. It does not record audio. It does not record video. It does not have pan, tilt, zoom capability on the camera. It does not issue citations. ODOT has a system that issues citations for insurance, but has nothing to do with our cameras or the city of Moore. It doesn't track cell phone usage, doesn't track cell phone signals. It doesn't tell us where a vehicle is coming from, and it doesn't tell us where a vehicle is going to. It doesn't have any type of prediction capability where it would predict where somebody's going or reveal personal information about the driver or the occupants. And it doesn't monitor where citizens travel throughout the day. It captures the rear of the passing vehicle, compares it to a license plate in an existing criminal justice alert. That's it. And so how do we use it? Well, within the Moore Police Department, officers may use Flock for legitimate law enforcement purposes. So what might those be? I'll tell you. Active criminal investigations, recovering stolen vehicles, locating missing or endangered persons, investigating crimes, specifically crimes of violence, but also property crimes at times, responding to legitimate hot list alerts. It is an investigative tool that helps officers move efficiently through their job. What officers are not allowed to do, and quite frankly, what officers are not allowed to do is probably one of the most pivotal points of this whole presentation, most important points of this whole presentation. Officers cannot conduct curiosity searches. This is all dictated by policy. Policy subjects employees to discipline. Certain levels of discipline include retraining, letters of reprimand, up to and including termination at times, depending on the allegation. But they cannot conduct curiosity searches. They cannot look up their neighbors. They cannot search spouses. They cannot use it for personal reasons. They cannot monitor political demonstrations. They cannot monitor religious organizations, religious gatherings. The officer can't stop a vehicle strictly because of that alert. So they get alert, they can't stop it just based on that alert alone. They have to verify independently that information in real time. The example is if a police officer thought I had a warrant, before they could serve the warrant on me, they would have to independently verify that that warrant is still active and that I'm still the person with the warrant. Same with this Flock hit. The Flock hit lets them know, hey, there's a car that's on the hot list that needs your attention. Then they have to go independently verify that information through the NCIC system by directly accessing the NCIC system. And so any other uses for that would be prohibited and obviously violate departmental policy, which would subject them to discipline of certain ways. So every search is recorded. There's a lot of metadata in the back end of this that helps track and audit these systems. The system documents who conducted the search, when it occurred, the reason it was performed. So we get the officer's name, we get the officer a case number associated and the reason for the search. The audit trail provides accountability and allows supervisors to detect improper use. And so why that matters is every day we ask officers to do a lot of different things. Locate missing people, recover stolen cars, identify suspects, hit and run crashes, protect victims, and arrest offenders. And when those things happen, and when these crimes happen, what we know is that minutes really make a difference. And the faster we can locate that vehicle, the faster we can get somebody in custody, the more success we have in protecting our community and the victim receiving justice in our community. But not only minutes matter, but sometimes seconds matter. And it's advancements in technology that allow us to cut down on that time, whether it's 3 minutes or seconds, that increase our ability to be successful in protecting our community. That's exactly what Flock helps us to do. And so in closing, as chief, I feel as though I have 2 responsibilities. The first, well, both responsibilities I take very seriously. But the first is protecting constitutional rights and freedoms of the people in our community. And the second is to do everything that I can to protect the vulnerable from those that would harm them. And those 2 things are not in conflict. Matter of fact, they go hand in glove very well together. And this technology is not the only thing that makes a safer community for more. Technology doesn't do that. People do that. Well-trained police officers, quality employees, good equipment, neighbors, community relationship, community trust. That's what makes a safe community, not one piece of technology. But when you combine those pieces of technology, it absolutely increases efficiency and increases safety. So, Flock is simply a tool that helps officers investigate crime, and our commitment is to use every tool responsibly, lawfully, and appropriately, and with the safeguards in place to maintain the trust of the community that we serve. And so with that, I would be more than willing to answer any question that you would have about this technology or anything else that the police department is doing.
Chief, did you say that it was a national database?
So there are, oh, sorry. There is a national database as far as like national access, but you can set up different access levels. And so you could allow anyone in the nation that has Flock to search your Flock cameras. You could localize that to just your organization. You could localize that to just the state of Oklahoma. It's scalable however you want to do it, but it's not a national database per se like NCIC is. It's a closed system within Flock users.
So is that just open to the police force? There are other groups that utilize that data? So we don't own the data. Let's start there. We don't own that data, right?
I think we do own the data. I have the answer to that question.
So if we own the data, then they have to have permission to use that
Yes,
data?
we do own the data.
Okay.
So yes, they do have, and Flock can't give our data away.
Okay,
They
all
can't,
right.
Flock can't allow people onto our
You
system.
can control who can
Anybody-
search our data.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we have to authorize it. So they'll send us a request, we say yes or
Yep.
no.
Very good.
Does the maker of the camera have access to all the pictures, or does it independently send it to a third party? So Flock themselves, if they wanted to pull up tag numbers, can they do that, or is all that content or data just put to NCIC and only you guys access it?
I don't think that Flock can I don't have the specific answer to your question. I know that they can't allow people to access our data. They can't allow people to access our cameras. Only we can. And so if only we can, my assumption would be they can't use it
So they only
themselves.
manufacture the camera, they don't have any of the data after it starts working?
Correct.
Okay. And then what happens with the photos of tags that are taken that are not on the NCIC list?
They drop off after 30 days.
30 days, okay.
But within that 30 days, they can then be used if there's an investigation of a crime or something. You could go back in and do a search if you were looking, correct?
Absolutely. You can do a tag search. You can do a vehicle search with descriptors. You could look for a yellow Camaro
Okay.
with a bumper sticker during that 30 days.
But the Flock data itself does not know what kind of vehicle that was. It knows the tag.
It knows the tag, but it's also collecting descriptors of the vehicle.
Okay. so
That's why I
there-
can
there's your
search it, that's
metadata.
why you could search a vehicle and say, I'm looking for that yellow Camaro with a bumper sticker. I don't have a
So
tag.
They build intelligence into it that it can detect a name or something on, okay.
Damage to a vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely, okay.
Just to clarify the questions that have been asked of me, to confirm, the only place this data goes is for the NCIC list. It's not available for any third parties or even the manufacturers of the camera
That's correct.
or anything?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm taking some notes if you ask me another question I don't know the answer to.
Chief, I want to commend you. First of all, that presentation you did is great, and we're really probably, OACP should take that and put it on their website so other communities can see. I know there's a lot of anxiety around nowadays, wondering what can be out there, and you did a great job. And personally, knowing what that system is, personally seeing what that system has done to help. If somebody in here tonight lost a loved one or something happened and had a tag, that boom could be put in there. It doesn't matter, you know, they go down to Ardmore, wherever, another system, they're gonna be able to tag that, we're looking for this. And a lot of times, we have seniors that might be by themselves that have dementia and get in a car and leave. And the system being able to pick up where they were last seen helps us quickly to go to where they could be at.
We've actually done that yesterday.
And all this stuff is, and that's what I always tell people, or back in the day, it's just a great system that, I mean, there's so much stuff out there on the web now, everybody can find, I mean, anybody could go Google my name tonight and find everything in the world about me. But something like this is a good system, and I appreciate how you guys use it, and it really, it puts the citizens at peace of mind. I know a lot of citizens groups, HOAs, went and bought the system themselves and got with the local police department. And the metro area here, like Oklahoma City's 620 some square miles with the partnerships. So we get access to theirs and they get access. And so it really helps on these investigations.
Yeah, Councilman, you bring up some great points, and if you'll just indulge me for a minute. The city owns or pays for 10 cameras within the city. 2 of those were recently criminally vandalized, so they're not operating. But there are 6 different neighborhoods that have purchased these cameras, as to your point, sir. And both Home Depot, Lowe's, and other businesses also have these cameras. And there's other cameras in the city that we probably don't even know about. So there's upwards of, whereas the city currently has 8 active, 10 that we pay for, society as a whole, here and more, the community as a whole has upwards of 40 that are operating at any given time.
Wow.
And understandably so, and just for the record, I, whether it was in the military or in policing, I've taken 2 oaths to protect the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma. But with that, the Supreme Court, in several pieces of legislation or case law, specifically Carpenter v. United States, recognizes that technology has to be scrutinized and that technology has limitations that start to walk towards the line of civil liberties. And so from a checks and balances standpoint, I think this conversation, this discussion is, especially in an open meeting with the public, is very appropriate. And I think that not only do I as police chief recognize freedom over safety, the Constitution and the Supreme Court does as well. But the Supreme Court has ruled that these devices, as they operate today, are constitutionally valid and not an infringement on those civil liberties guaranteed to us by the Constitution. However, they did raise an eyebrow and say what they will continue to monitor as technology evolves because we can't predict the future. And to your point, just some recent activity. Over the last 2 years, 30 stolen vehicles recovered with a value of estimated $450, nearly $500,000, 23 different arrests. Instrumental in several murder investigations, including a metro-wide crime spree that started in Moore and ended tragically in Oklahoma City. Just even as recent as 2 weeks ago, we were able to utilize it to get a suspect in custody within a matter of minutes in a kidnapping rape case. And so it does, to your point, council member, it does have a concerning side as we look at all of technology. Just take our cell phones, for example. As citizens, as police, we should be cognizant. We should be a little leery and weary of government overreach. But the Supreme Court at this point is monitoring, says it's not occurred. And I would tell you that oftentimes, to your point, if you're a victim of a crime, you're very thankful for this type of technology.
Well, one of the main reasons I was curious about it is not the use of the cameras, it's the use of the data. How is the data being used? And you've explained that to us sufficiently tonight. Thank you.
And we could, obviously, we're always open to show you the data and show you how come to the police department. We can show you, we can log in and show you an inside, in-depth look at the metadata if that's what you want to do. We're an open book.
Yeah, thank you, Chief Gibson. That, you answered all the questions in your presentation, and that would be handy. You know, we issue silver alerts with tag numbers all over the interstate. How much more useful
Silver
is this
alerts,
to have an
amber
automated
alerts.
system? So,
Thanks.
So I'm clear, does the city own the Flock camera, or do we lease it from Flock and they own it and maintenance and serve it, or is it our property?
Well, I'm believing, without not having the contract in front of me, maybe I should have, we own it, and that's why the consternation comes when they cut them down. Because it's going to cut, that's why we have 8, not 10, because they're not going to fix them. We have to fix them.
Okay. And just one of the questions that I get is just, again, you have answered those questions, but, you know, I have a cell phone, and if for some reason I became the subject of a crime with a warrant, could access my cellular data plan and find out really every call, text, where I've been, where the phone has connected to different towers, and find me, or at least find out what I've been doing. However, you have to get the warrant. And so what argument that I have been hearing is that this is data that's collected on that vehicle and who it's registered to, but there's no warrant that is needed to have that data. So if I became so the only reason that we would access those tags is if somebody called in a complaint about maybe a vehicle sideswiped their vehicle in a neighborhood. And they got either a partial tag or the whole tag, or it was a white pickup truck and then maybe some of the digits of the tag. Then we could enter that into the system, and if it went through one of the areas where you have a Flock camera, it would present that data to the officer that's conducting that investigation of a white truck with the first 3 letters that were presented.
If that suspect vehicle passed by a Flock camera, the officer could do a search of a white vehicle. Yes.
And would that lead us to, I mean, based on that, could we find out who owns that vehicle?
Yes, sir. So, and
A partial
going,
tag?
we could do a partial tag. So again, going back to its investigative tool, if you said white truck with damage and we got a partial tag, well, if it passed by a Flock camera, we'd have a whole tag.
Yeah.
Then we could follow up, an investigator could follow up on who that tag is registered to, and that would be a viable lead to follow up on. It wouldn't guarantee that you, though you're the registered owner, wouldn't guarantee that you were driving the vehicle during that crash. That would be part of the investigative human process that we'd have to just work through. But as an investigative tool, it would absolutely give us a lead to start with when we otherwise would have nothing other than a white truck that went down the road. To your cell phone question and warrant, the Supreme Court has long ruled that your standing in the Fourth Amendment with privacy regarding your cell phone versus your vehicle registration in a public area is apples and oranges, and so there's not a warrant that's ever been needed. And as you're aware, Mayor, the scrutiny on searches for a vehicle is much lower threshold than it would be for a cell phone.
Okay, and the police department doesn't collect data like on the mayor Okay, where's the mayor been for the past 30 days and has a file on me or any other citizen within
Depends
our
on how many times I
community?
call, so.
Yeah.
We don't collect that data on our residents anymore.
No, Mayor, we don't collect any data on our residents. We don't collect any data on our elected officials, and the collection or tracking of that data would be a violation of our policies anyway. And then when you get into tracking specific information, there are lots of different, not only state and local, but federal requirements. So we talk about databases. Those are regulated fairly heavily. We don't have any of those in our local. We don't track where people are going.
Okay. Not that there's anywhere I've gone that I would be ashamed of, so I'm just, but thank you, Chief, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, our next item, 7, consider approval of the FY 26-27 contract with Moore Public School District for the provision of 9 uniformed school resource officers and 1 police vehicle, for which the city will receive 65% reimbursement and the amount not to exceed $732,581.01.
Mayor and Council, this is a routine yearly updated contract. There's no changes except for the percentages required through the collective bargaining agreement.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
We've had a motion and second. You can call the vote.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 8 is consider authorizing the budgeted purchase of 6 new replacement consoles from Russ Bassett using HGAC by contract number ILC26-22426 in the amount of $152,472.90, with 80% of the total cost, or $121,978.30, to be reimbursed through 911 Management Authority grant funds.
Mayor and Council, our dispatch center, 911 center, was outfitted with this equipment when the building was built around 2012, 2013. So it's 15, 16 years old. And this would replace the console areas where the dispatchers, call takers sit for 24 hours a day while they're doing their work. And it's also going to add space for future growth of the 911 center along with that. So not only updating the equipment, and what we're talking about is like the desk and physical equipment, not the radio equipment per se, but desk and physical equipment, and adding locations. It'll be giving room for future expansion and growth. This is part of a 911 Managed Authority grant that we did budget for in the process that we were approved for. City's portion is 20%. 911 will reimburse 80%. We'd recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We've had the motion and second. You can call the vote.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Thanks, Chief, for all that. Item 9 is consider rezoning application number RZ1059, located in the southwest quarter of Section 27, Township 10 North, Range 3 West, being north of Southwest 34th Street and east of Santa Fe Avenue, from C3/PU General Commercial District to C3/PU General Commercial District, with permissive use for participant recreation and entertainment, indoor alcoholic beverages, and Low Point beer permitted, and approve ordinance number 5526. This application is by Thurman Lynch. The Planning Commission recommended approval 5-3, and this is in Ward 3.
Mayor and Council, this item was tabled from the July 6th City Council meeting. The application seeks to rezone the address of 3200 South Santa Fe to allow participant recreation with alcoholic beverages. This would be to support a golf simulator business who would like to serve alcohol, beer and wine. The applicant operates the existing business. It is a 16 and over entry that offers beer and wine through an auto dispense system with RFID cards or bracelets, meaning that there's no traditional bartender on staff. The hours of operation are for members are from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. The general public is allowed in only during specific hours. This immediate area is zoned for general commercial uses. However, there is a concentration of school and daycare uses in this immediate area that must be considered. Oak Ridge Elementary is directly across the street. The Goddard Daycare is adjacent to this site on the north side, and Southmore High School is catty corner to this site across Santa Fe. Additionally, the application must be considered in a larger context because of other potential uses that could be allowed within the strip center, should this application be approved. Such approval would, for entertainment uses serving alcoholic beverages, would apply to the entire building without additional reviews from the Planning Commission or the City Council. This would include uses such as pool halls, arcades, dance halls, and entertainment centers. At the last meeting, it was discussed that due to Able Commission laws, there is a percentage limit of the profits that you would have to stay under in order to comply with state law for selling alcoholic beverages. I believe it's 30 to 35%. And also at the last meeting, it was made clear that a restaurant selling alcoholic beverages would be allowed in the C3 zoning district without any sort of permissive use. Although I will remind everyone that with restaurants and eating food, it does result in the alcohol not going directly into your bloodstream immediately.
Well, but like a Chili's, you can go sit at the bar and drink and not, I mean, just sit at the bar and drink, right? I mean, you don't have to, or wherever.
They do that.
Or wherever. So, I mean,
you could
yes,
do
that's
that.
true. You're generally eating, but you're not necessarily.
That's correct. Because of the reasons, because of the schools and the daycare that are nearby, and because City Council would not have the authority to review the future uses that come into this building, staff recommends denial of this application. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I've had some teachers at that school and some others reach out, and they do have a lot of concern with the full daytime use of the playground across the street. So just so that everyone's clear, the elementary school and the playground is literally straight across the street, and kids will transient through the parking lot to go play even after hours until sunset, sometimes even beyond then after sunset. So the school is directly across the street from the shopping strip, right? And
Yes,
the
that's correct.
So,
Go ahead, Lee.
so I went to the business and stayed for probably 45 minutes, an hour, just to see and understand how it operated. They only have 2 lanes that can be rented or used at a given time. So the number of people that are going to be in the business would not be a large number. And then even if an individual golfer comes in and brings 2 or 3 with them, I think the most that any lane can sustain at a time is 5 or 6, I believe is what he told me. There are 2 exits. The back exit you're not able to get out of. It's a emergency exit only, so it's only through the front door and the back door. All the alcohol would be dispensed through a machine, as you mentioned. I really, for this one particular business, I don't see this being an issue. But because it opens the door for other businesses, it does have cause for concern. But the example of the restaurant kind of makes that
A moot point.
not as big a deal in my mind, because more than likely there's going to end up being a restaurant, maybe not in that shopping center, but there close by, that does sell alcohol. And so
And it's also, what, $60, $70 an hour to
Yeah,
go there.
this
It's not
is
just the
not-
general, yeah.
Yeah, this is not a place the general public's going to use on a regular basis. This is expensive equipment that, these are going to be golf people that are avid golfers, that there are other places like this around our city that, that do offer the sale of alcohol. And so it becomes a competitive thing for the business. And so, I talked to the gentleman that owns it, and we chatted for a good while there, and He sells merchandise in there. I mean, it's a regular business, but the main stream of the money is the memberships that he sells to use. I think he said each one of these machines that you use cost him $100,000 a piece, and he's got 2 of them side by side. And there's seating for about 10 or 12 people in the place is all there is. And so I'm mixed on it. I can find pluses and I can find minuses. So
I'm kind of with
I
Louis.
did have, go ahead.
I'm kind of with Louis being mixed on the issue. You know, a restaurant, there is a bartender present that can kind of judge where someone's at.
well, and the person running it has the opportunity to say no
Right,
more.
when he's not there, they can't get alcohol.
Yeah.
And is it accessible 24 hours with like a key fob or?
Right, but not the alcohol. Only when he's present.
When
staff.
somebody that is running the business is there.
To me, it's a no-brainer, yes, if it wasn't across the street from the school. The fact that it's right by the
Mm-hmm.
school is what makes me hesitate. And then the fact that I also found out shortly before this meeting that playground is used for practice, and that can go till 9 p.m. So you're going to have kids transiting straight through that parking lot and back home during that time frame. And that's what makes it a little bit more difficult for me. I love the business. I love the idea. I love the idea of someone being able to go there and utilize the machines if they wish. The location is just really tough for me to wrap my head around.
I'm with Councilman Webb. I went in and had a conversation with the owner. He knew that I was a no on the first go-around. And we talked about his other options, other things that he could do to improve his business. And he is going to pursue that. He did mention that they were going to do tournaments. I mentioned to him reaching out to the high schools, since it's, 16 and older. And he was up for looking at that. I really got the feeling that he did want to stay here with his business. I like his business. It's the location that I'm having a problem with. I did have a discussion with school administration. They were concerned about it, with it being a walking, as they call it, a walking school, because they have quite a few, students that walk back and forth, and it's even using the park after hours. And then also daycares, if I understand right, daycares, people can pick them up at 6 o'clock in the evening after they get off work. So location just, to me, is an obstacle with this.
And what hours would the alcohol be available?
If the applicant is here, I'll let him answer that.
Are they?
I don't think he's here.
Is the applicant here?
I don't see him.
See.
It's not,
Oh, okay.
I
I believe
also,
it's 11.
I'm sure that,
Till,
maybe, go ahead.
well, I'm sure it's got to follow ABLE laws on when they can do all that. And I know that, I think you said that for members, it's open 5 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yes.
I don't think they can go at 5 a.m. I
No,
could
I
be
don't-
wrong. I
I
think
think
it's
it's
10 a.m. But I just want it, to me, I know everybody, I went there and talked to Mr. Lynch. I appreciate him coming here. Hey, I agree, yeah, the Chili's, they can go to a bar and stuff. And I agree that, they don't have a bartender there, but at Chili's they would. But Chili's doesn't have an elementary, a daycare, and a high school where all that's coming through there.
No, but what we were saying is a restaurant like that could come in there without any approval.
Well,
I did ask that question to the school administration, and they could not recall any school that has a business selling alcohol, whether a restaurant or whatever, across the street or next door to them. I think they said the closest one was the new local down the street from Westmore High School.
if we didn't have, if the schools weren't there, we wouldn't be talking about this. And I also talked to the school district, and they would prefer that not happen either. you know, and even with me personally, even if it's a restaurant, I don't think a restaurant should be that close to a school. With the kids, stuff, people, but, you know, that's me. That area, we've already, you know, is originally was zoned one way. We've already changed the zoning on for the people who built houses before anything was there. This would be changed in another zoning. And so those are just things that I have to think about.
Hey, Elizabeth, I'd be curious, the applicant's not here, so you would just have to, when this was submitted for development and approval through the city, was there any discussion about the possibility of later having alcohol
No.
on the premises?
I don't think so.
No.
How long has he been there?
Not too long.
Just a few
Coming up
months
on a
or?
year.
Oh, a year.
Yeah, about,
From what he told me, he thought that he could already. He didn't realize that zoning would, and so that was part of why he came forward.
I appreciate, you know, the infrastructure that he's put in and the money that he's invested, but if he would have done a little bit more research, he might have found out that it wasn't possible and he could have saved that investment and put his business somewhere else within the city of Moore or wherever, but, okay, thanks.
Did he speak on any reason what was driving the requests?
Customers,
I mean, I think all of his competition,
do it.
Do
and
it.
his customers were asking to.
his customers
match
were asking.
Makes it so difficult. I love the business. I love everything about it. Again, we would never be discussing it if kids weren't out there till 9 p.m. practicing sports and things, you know, directly across the street.
And in my experience on serving on city council for many, many years, it boils down to what's in the best interest for the city of Moore as a whole. You know, we look at what's great for neighbors, friends, family. You know, we want to encourage businesses, but what is in the best interest of the city of Moore for the decisions that I make.
All right, is there any other discussion? Not, we'll just need a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the permit.
Second.
We've had the motion and second for denial. Would you call the roll?
Melissa Hunt,
No.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
That means I voted against the denial. He voted
Right,
in favor.
I voted
Adam,
for
Adam
it.
was looking like he was confused.
So if we vote yes, we're saying no.
You're supporting the denial. Yeah.
I'm supporting a denial.
Yeah, yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
She already voted.
oh, Mark Ham,
I can vote again.
Yes. So the motion is denied.
Yep.
Okay. Item 10, consider the preliminary plat of the Waters duplexes located in the southwest quarter of Section 1, Township 10, Range 3 West, being north of Northeast 27th Street and east of Eastern Avenue. Application is by Premium Land LLC, Tabor LeBlanc. Planning Commission recommended 7-0, Ward 2.
Mayor and council, items number 10 and 11 on your agenda are companion items. The subject site is located north of Northeast 27th Street and east of Northeastern Avenue. It is currently vacant. The property is currently zoned R2, two-family dwelling district, as a planned unit development to allow for the development of 53 duplex lots or 106 units, which equals 9 dwelling units per acre. To achieve this higher density, the site was rezoned to a planned unit development. And the proposal, or the PUD, includes the following amenities. There's approximately 1 acre of common area, a 14-square-foot gazebo with seating, picnic table, bench, and playground equipment, 5 parking spaces for the common area, and landscaping in common areas in the amount of 36 trees and 33 shrubs. Public water and sewer are available to serve the site. Stormwater detention for this development is required, and the site is not located within a FEMA floodplain. Access is provided by Northeast 34th Street. That's a residential collector street connecting to Northeastern Avenue. The Envision More 2040 plan calls for this location to be urban residential. Land uses allowed in this, in the urban residential district include residential development with single-family and attached units, up to 15 dwelling units per acre, including duplexes. This application was reviewed as to its conformance with the intent of the plan. Because this proposed development is a PUD with amenities that include aesthetic and common area open space improvements and an overall density of 9 units per acre, this application does meet the goal, all the goals and policies of the comprehensive plan. An amendment is not required. Staff recommends approval of both the preliminary plat and the final plat. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I'll make a motion, we approve item 10.
Second.
You can call the vote, please.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 11 is considered the final plat of the Waters duplexes located in the southwest quarter of Section 1, Township 10 North, Range 3 West, being north and northeast 27th Street and Eastern Avenue, application by Premium Land, LLC, Tabor LeBlanc. Planning Commission recommended 7-0. This is in Ward 2.
Make a motion, we approve item 11.
Second.
You can call the vote, please.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item 12, consider the final plat of the Hills at Timberlake Phase 2, located in the northwest quarter of Section 33, Township 10 North, Range 2 West, being south of Southeast 34th Street and east of Sooner Road, application by Mongold Properties, L. Kirby Mongold. Planning Commission recommended 7-0, and this is in Ward 1.
Mayor and council, this site is located south of Southeast 34th Street and east of Sooner Road. The property is currently zoned R1, single-family residential, and the preliminary plat was approved in April of 2021. Phase 2 of the development includes approximately 41 acres and consists of 4 common acres and 45 common areas, and 45 residential lots. That's an overall density of approximately 1 lot per acre. The applicant is seeking final plat approval for this final phase of the development. Public water is available to serve the site. Public sewer is not currently available to this area, and private septic systems will be utilized. Stormwater detention is required, and there is no identified FEMA floodplain located on the property. The Envision More 2040 plan calls for this location to be open space residential. Due to the overall densities of about 1 lot per acre and the walkable attributes of the development, staff believes that this site does conform with the requirements of the open space residential land use designation and the overall goals and recommendations of the plan. And staff recommends approval of this final plat.
Make a motion to approve?
And I did have somebody signed up to speak on this.
Okay.
Yeah, Fernando Zapata, is that correct? Yes. If you just come on up.
Good evening.
Yeah, and if you just be sure to give us your address.
Yeah, I'm with Blue.
Have 5 minutes.
I'm with Blue and Associates. We're the civil team that represents the client. We're at 13900 Wireless Way in Oklahoma City. I'm just really here to answer any questions on the project.
Okay.
I wanted to reiterate that this is the second and final phase of the project, and so it should be completed after this is approved. The final plat does conform to the zoning, and it matches the approved preliminary plat, and our design will meet the city's storm design and water requirements.
Council, did anybody have any questions? Yeah, I don't think you have to sell us.
Yeah. I second Kathy's motion, so.
Okay, we've had the motion and the second. Thank you. Yes, call the roll, please.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 13 is consider rezoning application number RZ 1061, located in the southeast quarter of Section 3, Township 10 North, Range 3 West, being north of Northwest 27th Street and west of Interstate 35, to amend PUD number 967 to allow one additional diesel pump and approve ordinance number 5726, application by Doe Holdings LLC, Neil Doe. Planning Commission recommended 7-0 approval. This is in Ward 2.
This property is at the existing E-Express Travel Center at west of I-35 and north of Northwest 27th Street. This travel center currently has 24 gasoline pump stations, 3 diesel pump stations, and 1 truck, air, and water line. The applicant is proposing to amend the existing PUD to replace the air and water line station with 1 additional diesel pump station that would be a slave pump to the mirroring pump on the other side. This is a developed site, and public water and sewer are available. There is no floodplain located on this property. Access is provided from Northwest 27th Street and the I-35 service road. The applicant hired traffic engineering consultants to perform an updated traffic impact analysis to determine the impact on the transportation system with this 1 additional diesel pump. In summary, their review of all the intersections within this project area conclude that the level of service would not be impacted by the additional diesel pump, and no improvements to the transportation system are recommended by TEC. The site was originally approved as a PUD in an effort to minimize impacts to the Lacoma addition. The amenities that were approved with the rezoning request include buffering techniques to this neighborhood, increased open space and landscaping, and the stipulation that there be no overnight truck parking, truck trailer repair, scales, laundry facilities, etc. Because this site is fully developed and this is an amendment to the PUD that requests 1 additional diesel pump, there are no additional amenities that are required with this PUD amendment. Because the traffic impact analysis does not anticipate any drop in the level of service of the surrounding intersections, staff recommends approval of this application. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Make a motion we approve.
A second.
Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 14 is consider approval of a utility relocation agreement in an estimated amount of $893,567.31 with Oklahoma Natural Gas Company for the city's share of relocation of a 4-inch and a 2-inch distribution gas mains currently located within the private right-of-way within the boundaries of Eastern Avenue, South 19th to Broadway, and Broadway Avenue, South 19th to Willow Pine, road improvement projects.
Mayor and Council, this is very similar to when we're on, we did with the railroad underpass. We have gas companies, there are different utilities that already have an existing private easement that they're in. And so therefore, and they own, therefore we're responsible to pay for the relocation of their utilities where they already have an existing private easement. Where they're going across the existing public easement, then they are responsible for those costs. And in this particular case on this project, which is the 19th Street to, or Broadway from 19th to Willow Pine and Eastern from 19th to Broadway, this particular project, they're paying approximately just under 30%, we're paying about 70%. And would recommend approval of the agreement in order to move forward with the project.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
You can call the vote, please.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 15 is consider approval of a supplemental and modification agreement number 1 to project maintenance, financing, and right-of-way agreement with ODOT Financing and not to exceed STBG-UZA estimated cost of $2,204,031 and the city financing an estimate cost of $1,213,658 for Eastern Avenue, Southeast 4th Street to Northeast 9th Street project.
Mayor and council, this agreement is a ACOG agreement that was received in January of 2023. And since that time, the project costs have increased from a total of $2.2 million to little over $3.4 million. So they've increased about 56% since we started the process. What this does is, at that time, ODOT was paying, and the ACOG grant was paying 80% of the cost, and we were paying, of course, 20%. Now, with the increases, ODOT is going to be paying 64%, and we're going to be paying the remaining 36%. Our costs do increase by about $775,000 for this project. That gives you an idea of how much things have increased in prices since the COVID timeframe. The other thing that it does, it does bring in that ODOT did provide us additional funding. We would have been responsible for 100% of the increase. But just here about 2 months ago, ODOT provided us, they had a surplus of some funds left over from last fiscal, or the current fiscal year. And so they did provide us an additional $453,000 for our share. Recommend approval of the agreement. This project should bid, they're scheduled to bid in October.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
We've had the motion and second. You call the vote, please.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 16, receive a presentation regarding proposed standard operating procedures for the Moore Animal Shelter.
Mayor and council, I know there's been an interest in creating an animal welfare board, and some of the initial language I had sent to you last week for you to review. I do know there are a couple of tweaks that need to be made as far as providing information to board members and the time frame for doing that, which I'm happy to do. Happy to answer any other questions that you might have tonight.
I think I would just like to know a time frame of when we think this can be done and implemented.
I can bring it back up.
I mean, obviously, we have to put it out
Yeah.
to ask for people to
Yeah.
serve and all that, but when we think we can, start asking for applications.
Probably the first meeting in September.
And do you think we're able to meet if the board, not open records request, but the actual board requests information, do you think they can provide that within 5 days or so?
I think within 5 working days, I think that would be reasonable.
Okay.
When's the first council day in September? Is it
It wouldn't be Labor Day, it'd be that
Didn't look.
So it would be the Tuesday, first Tuesday.
Because Labor Day's late this year.
Yeah, that's right.
It is?
Could we have that on our agenda to approve all that by then?
Sure.
Oh, so it would actually be, would
The
meet on
7th, the
Tuesday,
6th is.
Tuesday the 8th?
Yeah, Tuesday the 8th, yeah.
Because I know we've had some delays and stuff, and it's just, I just feel it's just with that advisory committee, it's very important. We get a lot of people asking about it and everything, and I think it'll, that's what the citizens want. So it's kind of like when they brought the parks boards back, they were going to be fixing all the parks, and you guys, most of you are probably still here around then. And it just helped with things, not to run it, but to help.
Right,
It's
right,
the
right.
citizens, it gets more citizens involved
Buy-in,
besides
yep.
us. Yeah, and the buy-in, because they all go to different HOAs and all over different areas, and, you know, it's good to have people involved in the stuff. So if we could definitely have that by then, that would be nice.
Sure.
Are we reviewing this presentation, or
No,
is this?
that's something different.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's different. That's for later.
Oh, okay. Later tonight.
Yeah.
We still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so September 8th, we are going to, you'll have a presentation of
Yeah, it'll just,
Item.
it'll just be the finalized language for the council to approve, and then,
Okay.
and then we start the process from there.
okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you, Brooks.
Item 17 is consider approving the purchase of Pole Road right-of-way from BNSF Railway Company in the amount of $447,996.
Mayor and council, this item is asking for your approval of a purchase sales agreement for Pole Road. We are purchasing a long-standing road, and again, became aware that we needed to purchase this, so we will be asking for your,
Is this going to be reimbursed through the?
yes, ma'am, yes, it will absolutely be reimbursed through the TIF, so.
But why is it that we need that right away?
Well, we need the road. We need to own the road. And so this is purchasing the road from Burlington
So that
Northern.
right away
It includes,
encroaches on the road?
the road is not on our property. The road is on the BNSF property. So this would be 60 feet, which would get us the road and the existing, or the right-of-way that's needed for the expansion and improvement of that entire road.
Are we planning to curb that, or are we just gonna leave ditches out there?
I'm sorry, one more.
To put curbs on that road when we rebuild it, or
Oh,
is it just gonna be
absolutely.
ditches?
No, absolutely. No, it'll be a beautifully redesigned, rebuilt.
And this is going to be an access road for deliveries, correct?
No, this will actually just be, it'll be just an improved road that's currently Pole Road. So it's the same stretch, and it connects into Oklahoma City. So it connects right into the city of Oklahoma City. So this will be a road that can be used as a public street that will be reused by anyone and everyone that wants to connect, again, from Oklahoma City to Moore through that thoroughfare. The trucks that are entering into the McKesson site would use this potentially. They can still go down to the access road, turn there, and then turn up and get to McKesson. So this is just another way, and again, another improved roadway to get to the McKesson site.
And this is another one of those perks in regards to the TIF.
Oh, yes, absolutely, yes. We needed to own Pole Road regardless, so if McKesson had never knocked on our door and never come in, we would need to own that road, most likely. It would be best that we.
Before we resurface it.
Correct, and completely rebuild it. This is a complete rebuild of that road.
It's an expensive road.
It is, it is, and again, but because of this development, it's needed, so it hurried, it rushed that process up, and it's also then reimbursable through the increment district that will be built up so that we can pull those funds from there. It won't be immediate, that reimbursement won't be immediate for that, but it will happen sooner than most because, again, of the amount of money that's being generated from that development once it gets started.
And it's just the length of the road that's.
It's 2,300, yeah, it's 2,300 feet,
Okay.
that portion of, there is a northern portion that you all approved at the last meeting for purchase of that. So this is 2,300 feet by 60 feet. And it's a little over 3 acres of land is what we are purchasing from Burlington Northern Santa Fe. And we will then tear that road out and
Can we
rebuild it
leverage
brand new.
that to get 4th Street done? No, I'm
And the railroad just wouldn't be a good neighbor and just give us the,
Well, we didn't.
no?
We pushed too many buttons.
We needed to get it done. It needed to
Yes.
happen. And so I feel like their benevolency, it might have taken a while potentially
Yeah,
on that.
sure.
So it was a fair price. Again, comps were taken
Yeah.
in the area, and so it's very comparable to what's being paid for land that isn't developed, and we will not develop it. That's one thing I would point out, is that in the contract, it does talk about a Phase 2 environmental study, of which we will be having done, and we have to have that done prior to the purchase, and that's per BNSF. That may or may not come back with, contaminants in that, but we're not developing that land, so it won't have anything in there that wouldn't normally be on railroad right-of-way that we haven't already seen when we purchase right-of-way from the railroad, or again, work with them on projects.
All right, sounds good.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Item 18 is consider resolution number 14326, adopting the 2026 City of Moore Public Schools Hazard Mitigation Plan, Emergency Management.
Mayor and council, good evening. The resolution before you would adopt the updated version of the hazard mitigation plan that we share with the school district. The purpose of the plan is to identify natural hazards and to therefore then identify actions and things that we might do to reduce the effects of those natural hazards and establish a process to do that. So this plan would be good for 5 years. We finally received a notification from FEMA here a couple of weeks ago that says they have approved the plan upon our adoption and adoption by the school district. We would obviously recommend approval.
Thank you,
No
Galen, for all
negative
your
feedback.
work.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just thanking you for all your work for that. I know that's a
No
consuming
negative feedback
process.
from the school system?
No. We worked on it together.
Okay, all right, good.
So make a motion to approve.
Second.
Would you call the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Here.
Very good, thank you.
Yes, clear, pass, approve. Okay, we go to an addendum to the agenda is item 18.1. Consider approval of a new job description for shelter operations supervisor in the Animal Shelter Division and assign it to a pay grade 111 of the salary table approved by the City Council on June 20th, 2016, in accordance with the budget approved by City Council for fiscal year 26-27.
Mayor and council, this position has been discussed for several months as part of a reorganization for the animal shelter. I believe it's a necessary position. It just reallocates existing staff. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 18.2, consider approval of an agreement with Pinnacle Consulting Management Group, Inc., and the amount of $30,400 for right-of-way acquisition services for the installation of water and sewer lines to serve the I-35 Commerce Center Industrial Park project located north of Northeast 27th Street between I-35 and Pole Road.
Mayor and council, this is a typical right-of-way acquisition agreement that we have with Pinnacle as they help us acquire the property that we need for different roadway projects. In this particular instance, it is for the industrial park and north of 27th Street between I-35 and Pole Road. There are 4 parcels and or 4 property owners that own several parcels that we need to obtain before we can really start getting full movement on the water and sewer improvements for the site. Would recommend approval of the contract.
So which direction will the water and sewer be coming from?
The water will be basically doing a loop from 27th Street, going north on Pole Road, and then going west to I-35 at the north end of the property, and then coming back down I-35 Service Road to 27th. and the sewer will kind of run from start down behind Casey's, and it will run north and east to the property on the edge of Pole Road, north by Oklahoma City.
Very good. I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Would you call the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. At this time, we're going to recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item 19 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve consent docket items A and B.
Second?
Call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, consent docket approved. We're going to recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item 20 is consent docket.
Make a motion to approve the consent docket items A and B.
Second?
You can call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, consent docket approved. We're going to recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and reconvene the city council meeting. All members that were present are still present. Item 21 is new business, citizens forum for items not on the agenda. I have one person signed up to speak.
This is your.
And that, council, that's part of your packet that they wanted you to look at. And it's Thada Zorman. Sorry if I got that wrong.
Phaedra Zorman. Hi, guys.
Who?
Phaedra.
Good evening.
Fader? Okay.
Phaedra. Hi, Mayor and council members. This is kind of really hard for me.
You have 5 minutes. And what's your address?
I actually live in Norman, but as you can see, I'm on the board for More Possibilities. I decided at the beginning of last year I needed to do something different with my time. We have 5 daughters, and our youngest daughter is already done with her first semester of college and started her first senior year, her last year, sorry. So I needed something to do with my time, and I went to the Moore Animal Shelter and fell in love quickly with More Possibilities. And I am now on the board, and this has been about a year that I've been on the board. I would like to talk with you guys about things that I have seen and witnessed and things like that over the last year, and the importance of continuity moving forward, if you will. I thank you guys for the opportunity to address the concerns regarding our municipal animal shelter and operations and a push for the Save Every Animal mandate. Tonight I want you guys to focus on the operational reality and not just social media narratives, and ensure policy decisions are grounded in public safety, fiscal responsibility, disease control, legal obligations, and humane animal care. It's our job. Our primary mission, first and foremost, and for the shelter, is animal control, and the municipal shelter exists to enforce animal-related laws, investigate bites, manage rabies exposure cases, respond to dangerous animals, things like that. I'm sure you guys are all well aware of what they do. They're not a private rescue organization. We don't rescue, but we're a private organization. They are a public safety agency, and we are there to assist them and help them, like when they're short-staffed or when they need donations, things like that. At the same time, we're all committed to providing the best quality of life possible to every animal while it is in their care, which includes, and if you guys go, I'm going off of this, so you guys have a chance to look at it later too. I'm not gonna get over it all. Clean housing, nutrition, medical evaluation, behavioral assessments, humane handling, and humane euthanasia when necessary. Compassion and responsibility are not opposites, and they must work together when we're talking about the animal shelter as a whole. And we have to work with them with this, and when it comes to this. The transparency for reporting and the reality of the numbers, I feel like, is one of the biggest things that has impacted the Moore shelter as a whole. I'm still looking into a lot of that to be able to verify. There has been a lot of criticism surrounding the reporting of the intake and euthanasia numbers with the Moore Animal Shelter. It is important to state clearly that their job is to not adjust reporting to protect feelings. It's just not. And that their job is to report accurate data. The municipal shelters must track and report things like intake numbers, obviously adoption numbers, transfer numbers, return to owner rates, and euthanasia outcomes. The numbers do reflect the community overpopulation, owner irresponsibility, stray and abandoned animals, bite cases, disease prevalence, but they don't reflect the cruelty. And unfortunately, as a volunteer, I get to see a lot of that, and it hurts. And that we can see that it's not being reflected accurately, guys. Something is just not right. They reflect operational reality, manipulating languages, and withholding numbers to soften precipitation would undermine transparency, and it wouldn't completely, we wouldn't have the public's trust, and that's the opposite of what we want and what the animal shelter wants. The factual data will always be provided, even when it's uncomfortable, and that is hard, and we see them doing that. The financial reality is that there's just limited resources. When it comes to the shelter budget, they are in direct competition with the police, and they need to be, I get it. Fire, roads, utilities, public works, it's all before us. It really is. We don't have, and as a shelter,
30 seconds, please.
I know I wasn't gonna get done, guys. Sorry. You have the rest of it. We can go ahead and meet again at the end of the next meeting. So, thank you guys very much. I appreciate
We'll
it.
be hanging out after the meeting if you want to visit with any of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was the only person that I had. Item B, items from city council trustees.
I have a couple real quick things, if I may. First, I want to thank the PD for inviting me to some of the awards that they gave out last week, and then they had a retirement of a major that's been here a long time. I appreciate it and appreciate you guys recognizing those people. There was a lot of EOC or dispatchers there, and had a lot of neat stories, life-saving type of stories and things that they do. And thank you for recognizing those people, for we have a lot of great people here. Dennis, I want to tell you, your public works, I appreciate all you guys have been doing out there chasing these trees and all these big piles. And it could be 4 foot today, but a week from now it's 8 foot, and then mysteriously they grow. And but I appreciate you and everything, your guys and gals out there. Just thank you for everything. I went to ACOG meeting last Tuesday, and I had a metro area, a couple of council people come up to me. Well, the bad thing was, at first they come up and they thought I was Mark, because they come up and they say, "Hey, you're the mayor of Moore." And I go, "No, that's not me." So I don't know how to take that, Mark, or whatever. But it was neat, because they were talking about, in the last couple of months, that they had seen a lot of neat things going on with the animal welfare shelter and stuff. And they really, some of the new programs, I know the one where they're flying the animals out and stuff like that. And I told them we have a lot of good people that work down there. And so even when you go around, people recognize more and stuff. And I just want to thank all those that I've mentioned for doing a great job. And then finally, we're just so blessed in the community. You've heard many people talk about the schools being part of a partnership with the schools, and this whole community's partnership with the schools. And schools fixing to start, so watch those speed limits and everything. But thank you all for supporting them. We get support from the schools, and because we have like one of the largest school districts.
Yeah.
So this is what makes our community even better. I just want to thank all of you and your employees. That's it.
Yep. Council, anyone else?
No, I was able to adopt a cat from the shelter this week.
Oh,
so
no.
thanks to everybody that
cat.
helped with that. It was a good experience.
Is it the one, it was
Yep.
the orange, was it the one you found?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I still haven't. I've got to make a decision. I've got like 3 choices. Yeah.
Chief, did you want to say anything about National Night Out? Or your assistant chief, he hadn't really done anything tonight, he's just sitting there. But if one of y'all want to come share just real quickly a little bit about it.
You let him off the hook.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and the Deputy Chief thanks you as well. He's tremendous moral support. He's working a lot inside that brain, which helps me tremendously. Yes, please, Mayor, Council, city staff, and citizens, we'd love to see everybody come out tomorrow night from 7 to 9 at the Warren Movie Theater for our 16th annual National Night Out. And yes, the weather people and I have been in discussion, and they promised me below 100, but I see the numbers creeping up slowly. But we have this discussion every year. And as soon as that sun goes down behind the Warren Theater, it's a beautiful night. We anticipate there'll be 8,000 to 10,000 people show up throughout the evening. It's one of our showcase community outreach events for the year. It's always a fun time. I'm getting texts from John Ireland already in preparation for his work and spectacular effort that him and his team put on throughout this event. Close to 200 vendors will be out there this year. It's our largest year ever. And with that, something important to note, while supplies last, everything is free. So no one's allowed to sell you anything. No one's trying to get the next deal. It's just free, and it's just about connecting with community. Because as we discussed earlier tonight, not only with technology, policing is successful, communities are successful when we're together. And more, as Councilmember Porter pointed out, is exceptional in Oklahoma, exceptional in the metro with our connection as a community. And tomorrow night you'll see that in action. So welcome everybody out.
Okay, thank you very much. It will be a great night for sure. And then I'll just say, Council, you came in, you saw that there was a soccer ball at your place where you sit, and that's your soccer ball. In cooperation with the United States Conference of Mayors, which the City of Moore is a part of, FIFA, the Federal International Football Association, made available footballs to the cities that are a part of that organization if they wanted them. We got 200 of them, so you each get one, but the rest are going to go to our soccer program. So as kids register, they're going to receive a kids' soccer ball. So they wanted these to come in during the games and all of that, but they got delayed somewhere on the other side of the world. But they're here now, so enjoy the soccer ball.
That's cool. Thank you.
Item C is items from the city trust manager.
A couple of things, but before I start, I'd like to ask Jerry Eiler to come to the podium. He was at the underpass site today and just has a brief update what he saw.
Mayor and Council, as you're aware, that there's been some concern about being a little behind schedule, and as we move forward, is it going to continue to be able to meet the schedule as we set out in the beginning? And when I was out there today, basically what had occurred early 2 weeks ago, as well as this Sunday, for a 24-hour period, the BNSF Railroad had what they call a railroad shutdown. That does not, shut off. That does not mean that trains did not pass back and forth. They still pass back and forth during their normal times, but the shut off was that they did not allow any trains to park and drop off some of the cars for transfer for another train to come pick them up, because that always occurs right near 4th Street. And by doing that, 2 weeks ago, for a 24-hour period, they shut it down, and then yesterday, for a 24-hour period through through this morning, the shutdown has allowed a very important piece for making the time schedule that it is there, but or is required to complete this project in the time frame that we had hoped to complete it. Is that we need to build the bridge for the train to travel across. That's it. That's the section that's remaining. They've been working very diligently on each end, east side and west side, and by closing that down, it allowed them to go ahead and drill all the drill shafts for the bridge between the two shutoffs. And during the last 2 weeks, when they had their shutdown, to now, they were able to go ahead and pour all of their concrete piers for the bridge that they had drilled the first half, and then now they're starting to pour. Today I saw that they started pouring some of the piers for the additional 14 piers that they drilled yesterday during that 24-hour shutdown. So, Mayor had asked me if we had caught up. We're not completely caught up, but we made a great dent in that process. Now we're at that point where we're trying to schedule to get the crews in from BNSF Railroad, who they're the only ones that typically are allowed to work on the tracks. So to remove the shoe fly and to remove and then build and construct their tracks on the new bridge. We're now in a position where we're moving forward to be able to start construction on the bridge portion of it. We've just seen in the last 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we've seen some great progress and feel much better about meeting that time frame to be able to try to bring the railroad crew in to go ahead and reset the tracks.
And I would just remind those that are here listening and those that are watching that when we say we, that not necessarily the city, because we have very little control over the project. Jerry attends those meetings and keeps the council advised of what's happening, but the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and their contractor and then the company that's been hired to build the bridge is under their control, not the city's control. So the scheduling of all of that happens through them, not through the city.
Yeah, and as I say, it's, and you've heard the city manager say it's BNSF at the top, and then it's ODOT, and then it's us.
Yeah.
But I will say that in the last month or so, BNSF has done a fantastic job as far as creating those shut-off periods. Those 2 periods that have allowed us to do quite a bit of catch-up. And then, even though it's just a 24-hour period, the contractor has done a good job to be able to complete all of the drilling that they needed to do to move forward with the bridge. So things seem to be really meshing and coming together pretty well.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for the update. Anything else, Brooks?
Yeah, a couple of things. Appreciate all the work that Dennis and his team are doing, and he's down to only 724 pickups that are still scheduled. So
my gosh.
you're under 1,000. So still there's a lot of work to do.
Wow.
So just wanted to let the council know just how busy they still are and everything going. And so I know we're going to talk about the fire contract here. I just want to thank Chief Marler for pushing for the paramedic program, and as he has done over the past few months, advise us of the state of the ambulance service and concerns that we have. This is serious business, and as you can imagine, Chief Marler recognizes what serious business this is. Hopefully, when we do this next year, the union leadership will have the same mindset. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooks.
Okay, item 22 is executive session. Section 307, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes permits the public body to meet in executive session for certain specified reasons under certain specified conditions. It's the opinion of the city attorney that the city council may consider and adopt a motion to meet in executive session to discuss the following items. A, consider approval of the fiscal year 2026-27 contract between City of Moore and the International Association of Firefighters, Local 2047, as authorized by 25 Oklahoma Statutes 307B2.
Make a motion, we convene to executive session.
Second?
Would you call the roll, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Tom Camp.
Yes, we'll convene to executive session. Thanks, everybody, for
Thanks,
being here.
everybody.
Okay. Item C is reconvene from executive session. Again, everybody that's present is still here.
Make a motion that we proceed as directed.
Second?
We've had a motion and second. You can call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Yes. Item passes. And then adjournment.
So move.
Second?
Second.
Call the vote.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.